Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to.
Alrighty.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation Podcast Festival Concert Series Edition. Today we are with Rich. He is with the Glover Park Concert Series. Rich, thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry, Jake.
Oh, no, you're good. I just said thanks for joining us. Give us a little background on you, where you grew up, and talk a little bit about your career and your family.
Okay, sounds good. I actually grew up in Wisconsin and spent all my high school and college years there, and grew up not too far from the great city of Madison, just a few miles down the road. It was 10 miles apart when I was in high school. Now they're joined at the hip. So been a lot of growth in both directions up there, and things have changed a good bit. But after living there for a good time up till I was about 30, I moved to San Diego and spent 7 years out in the San Diego County area, worked for two different cities out there, and then came to Georgia with my lovely bride, who I'm married to, and we have two kids. She got into Emory for graduate school, and it was either a long distance relationship from San Diego to Atlanta or make the move, and I did. And so we've been here in Georgia now for 31 years, just about.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's jump in. Let's jump into the concert series. Let's start with the when and where.
Yeah, the concerts are held 6 times annually, our Glover Park Concert Series. They're the last Friday of the month from April through September, with the exception of if the last Friday happens to fall on Labor Day weekend. We have a big 3-day art show on that weekend, so we may move the up to the second to the last Friday in that event, but usually they're the last Friday of the month. And they're held in Glover Park, which is the park that is in the center of our downtown square. Historic old park, has a great traditional feel, kind of the Hallmark feel, people say, and I guess that's true because we've had 2 Hallmark Christmas movies filmed there in the last 5 or 6 years. So it really does have that great downtown feel. And the concerts start at 8 o'clock in the evening. We actually close a couple of streets down on the perimeter of the park at 6 o'clock, so folks can start coming in, and we sell tables in the square, right in the park itself in front of the bandstand, and about 40 of those. And then we sell up to 70 tables that are out on the street. And other than that, people bring their chairs and blankets and their own little table setups. And so they'll be out there at 6 o'clock starting to have dinner and socialize prior to the music beginning at 8.
Okay, very good. So 3 questions that help our listeners fully embody the experience there. You did a pretty good job on number 1. Number 1 would have been, what does it look like? Number 2 is, what does it smell like? Meaning, what foods are in the air? That's always important. And number 3, what does it sound like? The activities going on, the music, the specifics of that. Let's go back to number 1. Talk a little bit about, do people need to bring their own coolers and their own seating and that type of thing?
Well, they can. We have a very vibrant downtown, and this goes back to a little bit of the history of the event that started back in the 80s when the downtown had pretty much dried up, with the advent of the freeways and the malls and things like that. So this is actually a joint cooperation between our Downtown Marietta Development Authority and the city. And they actually have a lady that handles and works with the producers for the event to get there. Back in the day when I started here, even in 95, there were only 2 restaurants you could eat at night in the downtown, right in the downtown. Now we have upwards close to 40. And if you include the food hall that's 3 blocks away, we're pushing 50 locations to eat.
Wow.
So folks can bring their own food and dinner, but they certainly can have carry out. And some of the restaurants that are across the street will even do deliveries over to a table or meet you, and they run little packages. So we don't necessarily have food for sale, but we have all that downtown there. And that's why we have the concert series, is to bring people downtown and to help push that downtown area.
Love that.
As far as, the sounds of the music, things are much more diverse than they used to be. Back in the day, it's a very downtown friendly thing, but it seemed like most of the music was more beach oriented and swing music, and the shag dancing and that kind of thing. This last summer, for instance, we had an Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute band. We had a Motown. We had an 80s tribute band. When you think back to 86, when the concerts first started, that was the real music of the day. Then now it's a tribute band. So we've come a long ways. and we'll have classic rock, we'll have country, so a little bit more of a diverse lineup than we had, and our younger crowd coming in now too as a result of some of that.
Love that. That's perfect. That's perfect. Talk about your passion for this.
Well, it's great for me, and I oversee a lot of things. I'm the Parks, Recreation, and Facilities Director, so I have all the parks that I manage, the golf course, the city cemetery, 27 city buildings, and all the maintenance associated with them. So this is kind of the fun stuff. Some of the other stuff can get either a little routine or create too much controversy. The concerts are great, and they really are a sense of community, which is one of the great benefits of Parks and Recreation, is bringing the folks in, whether it's friends, whether it's family, or whether it's visitors to our community. We have some folks that are there at 7 o'clock in the morning or earlier, and they're staking out their area where they're putting their blankets down, and they've been doing that for 15 or 20 years at the same location, the same friends and family. So, that's kind of where you feel like you're really doing something for the community and bringing those folks together.
Yeah, that's the most important question. People that are looking to travel, where are they going to find the information? What do you do? Do you guys update your website more frequently? Social media? How are they going to find out when and where these concerts are at? Who's going to be there? Where's that information coming from?
Yeah, sure. Well, we definitely have it on our website. So the City of Marietta, so mariettaga.gov. You can go to the Parks and Recreation page. We have a Facebook page, an Instagram account, so we're doing most of the social media. And I would say, as far as folks coming to town, if they want to come to town for the weekend, not just for the concert, but they're looking to come here, this is certainly a tourism mecca. We're right next to Kennesaw Mountain, which is, as far as I can tell, is the second largest or most visited battlefield in the country, behind Gettysburg. We have museums, we have brew pubs, we have one of the Six Flags water parks right here in town. So there's a lot to come here and see and do. And in that regard, we have our own visitors bureau. So Visit Marietta would be a website that you could go to, and that will have all our restaurants and all the activities and things that go beyond what just that we do here, that we provide through our Parks and Rec department or our city operation, and links to all the things right around metro area. We're anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour into downtown Atlanta, depending on what day you drive and what time of the day you go there. So you can hop around the metro and do a lot of things and see a lot of different things.
That's right. Okay, let's have a couple last questions here. All for me, all for fun. I ask these two questions at every interview just because I travel, we do live entertainment and live music, and I always like to just find out exactly what your personal preferences are. So I want to know, what's the best concert you've ever been to your entire life?
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm a little older, so I mean, I've been back there, and the Stones and the Who and Crosby, Stills and Nash, and James Taylor and all the great stuff. But I think with me, I think the best concert I've ever been to, because maybe the show, and I'm leaving out Jethro Tull and Alice Cooper, I'm thinking Yes for me.
Okay.
I saw Yes. I lived down in Miami briefly, and they had it down in the Seaquarium area, and the band was out on a boat, and the jets were coming in, flying right over the top, coming into the airport. And it was really a dynamic thing. And of course, their music is first class too. So
yeah, that sounds great.
Kind of sticks out just because of the environment and the music.
For sure, for sure. Okay, dead or alive, you get to see one musical act, artist, or band. Dead or alive, who would you see?
Wow. Well, haven't seen Springsteen, haven't seen Elton John. Those would be two. But I think if I really were going there besides them, I'd say the Moody Blues.
Ooh, like that. Yeah, there's an answer I haven't heard before. That's why I love these questions. It's perfect. Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, listen, I thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure. Rich, you got a great thing going on there. Thank you for supporting live music and concert series. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of investment. It's a lot of getting sponsorships. It's a ton. And so I appreciate what you do for live entertainment.
Well, thank you very much, Jake. And come on to Marietta, everybody.
Okay.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go if you want to?